Hello there and welcome to another A Tippling Philosopher video. I am hot off of finishing a radio debate with Jonathan McLatchie, a Christian apologist, on the Unbelievable radio programme with Justin Brierley on Premier Christian Radio. And we debated extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence and miracles, resurrection, so on and so forth. Really enjoyed it. We opened more cans of worms than we could hope to close. That's the nature of these sorts of things. But one of my claims, and this refers back to a previous video I've done actually, is that there is a circularity to the biblical hermeneutic concerning believing in miracles and believing in the resurrection story. What does that mean? Well, hermeneutic is the way that you interpret the Bible. So the problem is that when you assess the Bible for whether it's true or not, you are bringing to your assessment of the data, the Gospels and Paul. Let's talk about the resurrection of Jesus. So you're like, should I believe in the resurrection of Jesus? So before you look at the actual evidence, this is a Bayesian probability analysis. You have a prior probability assessment, which is, what do I think about the idea of a rising, dying God being true, the claim being true, irrespective of the evidence? And if your worldview is that, well, miracles can't or are highly unlikely to happen, then that's going to affect how you evaluate the claims of the data being the Gospels and Paul. And a Christian will say, well, actually, within my worldview, I haven't ruled out miracles a priori. And actually, the atheist should say that as well. I haven't ruled them out a priori. Like, it's not, but they're just incredibly unlikely to happen. It's a non-zero percentage, but, you know, it's still conceptually possible. The Christian will say, actually, I think they're, not only are they conceptually possible, but they're actually probable given the whole framework I have for my worldview. Now, this is really interesting. Because I say, my accusation is, why do you say that miracles are probable as a Christian? And it's usually you're saying miracles are probable because I believe in the resurrection of Jesus. So that miracle means that miracles are probable. So then I use that to then assess miracles and their prior probabilities. And I say, oh, they're more likely to be true than an atheist might think. And then I'm going to use that, the idea that I've got a background belief that miracles are possible, plausible, and then I'm going to use that to assess the Jesus resurrection claim. And you're working in a circle. You're saying my Jesus resurrection claim depends on a background knowledge of miracles are possible and probable, but that's based on the idea that the Jesus miracle happened and the resurrection happened. But then that's based on the miracles are probable, and then so it's a circle. And I say there's a hermeneutic circularity going on there. And Jonathan McLatchie would say, well, it's not just that. It's not just based on the idea that the resurrection is probable. You know, the resurrection happened, my belief that miracles are possible and probable. It's actually based on natural theology. So that's his, how do you break the circle? Where you say, actually, there's good natural theology, which is philosophy about God, to suggest that actually miracles might well be probable and certainly possible. And the problem here is that may be true in and of itself, but that's not how people think and how people believe. What I mean by this is that someone like Jonathan McLatchie won't have read the whole corpus of natural theology. They won't have picked up J.P. Morland and William Lane Craig's The Cambridge Companion to Natural Theology, read that cover to cover and gone, right, now I'm going to assess the Jesus resurrection claim. They don't do that. What they do is they come to believe in Jesus, probably as a child, taking on board the resurrection claim because their parents did and the community does and the elders do and the church tells them to and the teachers tell them to and their friends do. They come to believe in the Jesus miracle, and then they read natural theology to post-hoc rationalise that position they've already intuitively taken on, or the position they've taken on for psychological or familial or social reasons. So so what we want to ask is, well, then why did you take on that miracle claim in the first place? Yes, you can post-hoc rationalise it with natural theology, and that's a problem I'll come on to in a second. But how do you take it on in the first place? Did you take it on because you thought, well, yeah, miracles are broadly possible, and then how did you come to that conclusion? So that's one of the problems, and then the other problem is that even if you were to assess all of natural theology, if we look at the data for philosophers, only 14.6% of philosophers believe in God, which means that the majority of philosophers reject natural theology as a good basis for believing in anything like a God or miracles. So using the natural theology as a get out of the biblical circular hermeneutic is a bit of a problem, because A, people don't do that, and B, even when they do look at natural theology, they reject it. Most philosophers reject it. And you would argue that the ones who do keep it are probably, there's other things going on, such as, motivated reasoning and psychology and all these other things. So I think, using natural theology to defend a belief in miracles is actually evidence of post hoc rationalizing, and you'll generally already believe in miracles and then go and try and rationalize that belief with a bunch of other philosophy. It's how the human mind works. So there you go. Just a real short one today, just talking about what we actually do in terms of formulating beliefs, as opposed to post hoc rationalizing. Anyway, as ever, question everything. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. Cheers.